Hello and welcome everyone to our webinar today. I'm really excited about this one. WordPress blogs, pretty similar to saying I need to do a website. But what is a blog? A blog is an online log, things that you write about your company to get you found that your customers or prospective customers are interested in. It's almost like your business card. It tells everybody about you, and it works 24 hours, 7 days a week without you even being there. So again, welcome everyone. This is another in the series of the California Caribbean Chamber of Commerce weekly webinars where we set out to inform you and help you to grow your business on and offline. So for those of you who don't have a website, this will be of real interest to you. If you do have a website and you don't have a blog, it will be interesting to you as well, because it's one of the ways in which you can use online media to grow your business. So what we will cover today will be how you go about getting a domain name for your company or your business or your hobby if you already don't have one. How to host your website, the various themes that you can use based on your interest or your company niche, the difference between posts and pages, plugins, widgets, and the basic about how you go about setting up a blog or setting up a website. First thing you should do is get a domain name. And I still encourage most people to get a domain name that has some reference to what they're doing. However, some people have been in business for such a long time that most people know them by their company name. So for example, if you're an attorney, you're known by your name, Esquire, or your name, company name, something to that effect. So you typically go out and you find a company such as GoDaddy or Namecheap or new.com, and you buy that domain name. What I'll try to do here, without feeding you with a fire hose, is switch between my screen with the PowerPoint presentation and how you do this online. So first of all, you have to go and search to see whether your name is available. So you can go to a company like domainsforlocalbusiness.com or GoDaddy or Namecheap, and using your company name and or keyword, find it. So I'll endeavor to switch between the two and show you what I'm talking about. So if I switch here and I go grab a browser, which I have already, and I go to Namecheap, and we're looking at a domain name, and we'd like to register a new name. So if I'm going to start a new company called abcrestaurant.com, and I suggest a .com first. If it's not there, then you try to get a .net or .org, especially if you're a nonprofit. But the key thing here is to get a .com. So if you're looking at a domain name, it might be something like abcrestaurant.com, and you would search. And in your search, you will see that abcrestaurant.com is not available. As a matter of fact, there's someone that might be selling it, because here, they're asking you to make an offer. But typically, if it's available, it'll be for about a price like this, maybe $11.48, $10, $12, typically no more than $15, depending on where you pay for it. And if those are not available, then you've got a .biz, a .org, .info, and so on and so forth. Typically, I suggest that you get a .com first, because most people are likely to search for your company as a .com. Okay. Switching back to the PowerPoint, if I can switch restart here. So you purchase the name, and after having purchased the name based on your company name or your keyword, then you go out and host that website. One of the companies I suggest that's pretty good is HostGator, but of course you can use GoDaddy or any other hosting company. One of the things that I would definitely recommend is that you don't buy your name and host at the same company. So if you bought your name at GoDaddy, I would suggest you host it elsewhere, such as Namecheap or HostGator. If you buy it from Namecheap, you host it at GoDaddy. I don't believe in having all my resources in one place. The key to having hosting is to ensure that you have a cPanel. So you find a company that has a cPanel because it makes it very easy to administer your website. So if you were to buy it from HostGator, then it'll be quite easy to administer that. They will send you all the information of how to log in, etc. And once you have that, then you could forward your URL or your domain name that you bought from your previous company to the hosting company so that you can start your blog or your website. So you set those name servers and then you go ahead and host it. So once you've gotten the package from the hosting company, you do that. I know this is going to be quite a bit, so I'm going to try and switch again back and forth and show you what I mean, if I can, briefly. So you would go to HostGator.com and you would look for one of their hosting plans. Based on your needs, there are several, but I would suggest that you go here and you look at the plans that they have, and you can see they've got a hatchling plan, a baby plan, and a business plan. And so based on your requirements here, will determine which one you order. So I'll get there in a moment. So I'll switch again, and you'll see I'll be getting there as soon as possible. So once you've bought that and you've got the cPanel, then you'll want to set up your website and set up the information. So I'm going to switch again. Sorry for switching back and forth, but this is the only way I can actually demonstrate. So once you've got this, you will then place the order. The business plan allows you also to have a SSL certificate, which is a secured socket layer, which if you're doing e-commerce, you will need that. If it's not too large of a blog or a website, you could get away with a hatchling or a baby plan. But for $10.36 a month, it's not a lot. You could basically go ahead and order that. So you typically click on order. Of course, you would already have a domain name because you've previously purchased that from Namecheap or wherever. You would enter the domain name here, such as abcrestaurant.com. And here it'll tell you what it is. You'll do your username, put in your PIN, fill out the billing information, your credit card information, and then you go ahead to buy it. All the other stuff is not necessary. You can read through it, but you really don't need to buy all this stuff. So you could uncheck these things here. You know, or if you want them to provide a backup, you can do it. And then you just go ahead and create your account. Okay, so switching back to the screen, there's different things you want to start doing after that. Is create your settings and setting up your blog. So before I go to that, once you've got the, I think I might be going a little too fast here. So once you've set up your account, and I'll go back here. What I did is I'm using the back end of a cPanel I have already. So once you've got the information and you've logged in, you will see a cPanel like this. And in here, which is one of my accounts, you can go back and then you will find the ability to do a quick install. And so when you click on quick install, it then takes you here. You will select WordPress, continue, and then you will put in the information of your site that you wanted to. So it'll be, for example, here, it'll be ABC Company, the admin email, username, password, etc., and then you press install. But I'm not going to do that for now because, of course, I haven't done it. This is just an example. Okay. So going back to the slide, once you've done that and you set up the account, then you will need to then start putting your blog or your website together. So if we were to go back here, I'm taking the liberty of getting into someone else's website, which is Marcus's here on the back end. This is what your back end or your dashboard would look like. So here you would see various things like posts, media, links, pages, comments, parents, plugins, users, tools, settings, and of course there should be a place for widgets. But in the theme that is chosen for his website, there's no widgets there. So if we were to go to parents, and this is the theme of his website, if you didn't have that, there's several other themes here that was loaded on his website, for example. But if you didn't have one, you can always go and search for a theme. So you go to install theme, and then there's several ways in which you can find something of interest if you don't have one. So if you didn't put anything and just say search, here you'll see a bunch of themes. As a matter of fact, there's a list of 1,045 themes. So you can spend a long time trying to figure out what fits you need. And all themes are not equal. We can get into that another time. But it's just to show that it's there. If you have one already that you might have purchased, because they are free themes, they are paid themes, and they're paid in premium themes. So, you know, it can start from anywhere from free to $1,000, $2,000 based on the complexity of it, support, and everything else. So you would go here, and if you have one, you would say upload because you would have bought it already, and then you browse your hard drive and uploaded the theme that you're looking for. So if I flip back here, the whole idea of this is to give you an overview, not necessarily tell you everything about building in one webinar, but the key part of it is that there's several things that you need to do on your blog and on your website, such as setting it up, how you go about writing, reading, set up your discussions, and your permalinks. So make sure that you can see all of the items on the screen. So once you've selected your theme, so in this particular example, here's a theme that was selected. You make sure that you find something that you like, the layout. You then create a banner where you have your logo. I suggest that you always have your phone number in that banner, your social media icons, and anything else you like. and then we go about setting it up. So here you have the menu items, home, the typical ones, home, contact us, about us, your blog, of course. If it's a blog you're writing, then this wouldn't be relevant. But if it's as a website, then it would be. In addition to that, any of the keywords that you want to have here as a menu item, you know, products, services. If it's a restaurant, it might be, you know, entrees, appetizers, drinks, whatever it is, you name it. So having selected from the existing themes after you've searched for them, you would then choose one, whether it's a free theme, a paid theme, as I mentioned before. And then we start populating it with your pages and posts. So I'm going to flip back here again and go to my example. And in the back end, you have posts. And so posts are a little different to pages. So, for example, if I were to visit the site, which is marcusbentertainment.com, you will notice here that these are pages. These are static, and these are there that don't change much, and it basically tells everyone what it is that your site does. The things that you find here are all posts that he would have had over time. So if you look here, this would have been a post that he had New Year's Eve, or a post that he had some time ago. So that's the difference between pages and posts. And so you can have that there, and of course you can categorize them so that they're easily found when people are looking for them. So if I go back to this, to where we were, and I get to the pages. So here you have the About Us, the Contact Us page, maybe one keyword for every page that you have. So if you do auto mechanics, and it might be service, you might have that as one. You may have, you know, used cars or whatever it is. You use that as the main menu. And then the posts, these are the articles and things and the topics you write about to create interest on your website. And typically, the more you do them is the much better for you in the search engine. So if you were to do these once a day, twice a day, it's great, but you never get around to doing your business. So if you at least do a weekly update on your posts, that would be awesome. So prior to doing your post, you want to set up the categories. The categories will be the things of interest in your company, and you set them up so that when you write, it's all written under the category that you've set up. In addition to that, there are plugins. Plugins is what give your website, or what enhances your website. Very similar to apps on a mobile phone, or apps on your computer, or apps on your TV. So the plugins come in a variety. You know, there are free plugins, there are, you know, standard ones, there are premium ones, and they vary in price based on the functionality. The key thing is to make sure that when you get a plugin, it's from a safe source, so you can, you know, Google and check it. And usually when you pay for a plugin, typically they're around because they're there to support what they do. And if it's free and the person's no longer in business or no longer cares, then you might have a plugin that doesn't work. In addition, when you load too many plugins, you can start bogging your site down, or you might start having conflicts if the plugins are not written correctly. So those are just some of the downsides of it. But for the most part, they're great. of course, you back up everything before you use a new plugin. So here are some of the ones we recommend. There's like a header and a footer for your plugin. This is great for local businesses because it helps in the search engine optimization. In the header, it'll have your typical company name, phone number, information, addresses, so that you can be found by Google Maps. The all-in-one SEO is a search engine optimization that helps you to put in additional information so that you can be found. A plugin like the Contact Form 7, what that does, it allows you to create a form so you can capture information from existing or prospective clients on your website. The Google XML sitemaps, once you've downloaded that from Google and uploaded onto your website, it creates a sitemap that allows the Google bots to crawl or search your website so that it can find the information, so it can present it to anyone searching for you or information that you might be selling or providing on your website. Another one that is of interest is the broken link checker. So, for example, if you link to a site out there and they no longer have the information and you don't know, this allows you, rather than to have a broken link, to let you know that the site that has the information that you're linking to no longer has that, and then you can make the necessary adjustments. The Jetpack, which is similar to Google Analytics, this allows you to know information about the people that are coming to your site, how many people came, the pages they were at, you know, the different information on your website. Then, of course, there are other optional ones which we'll get into later, is ones like smart YouTube videos, which allows you to have links on your site that links back to YouTube, so you can have videos on your website. Then we have widgets and menus, and I'll show you what that is. If I can flip back here to Marcus's website, you'll notice that on these, there's three sections here. One, two, this central area with a lot of content, and on the right-hand side. And so based on it, you can have themes that have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns or widget areas, and it allows you to do multiple different things based on the flexibility of the theme that you chose or you bought. So, for example, here he's got information on pages. You can put contact information, promos, sponsorship, anything you need in here. Widgets allow you to do that. And so by having widgets here, you can pretty much have a widget for anything and link it back to something else. So that's where you'd find widgets. So in addition to there, you can also find widgets along the bottom. You can have 2, you can have 3, you can have them in various sizes, and as a result, it offers a lot of flexibility. So let me get back here. As I mentioned, you can have a contact us in your widget area. You can put links in the widget area. You can set up your various categories in there, and of course, your menus. I went over that. Those are the ones at the top. You can have menus at the side. You can have sub-menus on it that drop down. And then, of course, I'll have questions for you. Or if you have questions for me, then you can contact us here. I know I went a little fast, and so I'll quickly go back over to the demo site here, and I'll show you a couple of other things that might be of interest. So if, for example, you're interested in a theme, you can always Google WordPress themes, and you've got a number of paid options here. Or you can go to a company like WordPress.org themes, and here they have thousands of themes based on what it is. So if, for example, you're looking at this for corporate image, you click on the image, and it will tell you everything about it. It'll give you reviews that people would have seen and used, and tell you what it's about. And you basically download the theme and upload it to your website. In addition to that, if we go back here, you can see Marcus doesn't have a blog as yet on his, but he's used the same platform to create this website. And you can see you can have a photo gallery. It allows you to buy tickets. Tells you about upcoming events. He has his About Us page, his contact page, and these are the things that you could do on your website. So it might behoove us to have a training or a webinar with just creating a blog or creating a website where we start from start to finish. But this is just to give you an overview of how you can go about quickly getting a website or a blog together. And then next week, in the next episode, I can show you how to place the content on there. Unfortunately, I didn't go about making you an entire blog because I'm, limited to one half-hour segment here. But next week we'll be looking at content, because content is king. We look at where to find good content. We make sure that it's original and it's not already out there and you get dinged for duplicate content. We look at how you can post that content to your WordPress site, how to make sure it's optimized for a search engine, how to use images on it. Oops, went too far. And then we could, have some questions and answers if you are interested in finding out more. But in the meantime, I'm going to leave this here. If you're interested in getting more information, just give us a call or email us, and we can go from there.